Kristen, what do you make of Ron DeSantis installing a conservative anti-woke board at the new College of Florida?
So he has made a big name for himself as being someone who is pushing back against what he views as an education system, both K-12 and higher ed, that's gone too far off. I don't know that the answer to liberal overreach in higher ed is conservative overreach in higher ed.
Right.
So I'm much more interested in, when I'm thinking about higher education in Florida, my home state, is I look at the University of Florida, where Ben Sasse was just installed as president. There were some protesters, but not as many on the day of his actual installment. And he has really said, I'm not coming at this with an ideological lens. He is certainly conservative himself, but can he take an institution and actually do interesting things with it that are not about owning the libs or about proving this is what a conservative school is like? This is something that frustrates me about the right, is every time they see something on the left that they think they've gone too far, we need to create a conservative version of it. Let's have conservative Wikipedia. Let's have conservative Twitter.
Right.
It's just silly. Why not just try to thrive in these institutions and do what you can to make them work for everyone from within?
Ron DeSantis has taken Florida's education system into the spotlight, waging what he calls a fight against liberal overreach by installing a conservative anti-woke board at New College of Florida. The move, hailed by supporters as a push for ideological balance, has sparked intense debate over whether countering perceived liberal biases with conservative policies solves the problem, or simply mirrors it. On Real Time with Bill Maher, the panel dissected this cultural tug-of-war, with Kristen Soltis Anderson emphasizing the need for universities to foster inclusivity and focus on education, not political agendas. Bill Maher, ever the provocateur, likened the conservative effort to creating a mirror universe Hogwarts, sparking laughter and setting the stage for a spirited discussion about the role of ideology in academia.
And as I said last week, if you don't watch this, what happens is people write things, I don't even know what these questions are, but I'm going to ask them. This is for you, Malcolm. How much longer will the American public tolerate our involvement in Ukraine? Well, I think they're more than tolerating it. I think they're pretty much foursquare behind it, most people, aren't they?
Yeah, we're absolutely behind it. And we're going to tolerate it as long as we can feel that we're upholding the democratic values we established in the world for the rest of the world. I mean, we'd give up. I mean, did we give up in the Civil War? Did we give up in World War I, World War II? We put up with it. I mean, it's not like going to Burger King.
No, we gave up in Vietnam. But
well, there's that one.
No, we didn't give up, but we kind of have slacked off as far as our war.
We're a country of good tolerance.
Right.
Malcolm Nance framed U.S. involvement in Ukraine as a critical defense of democratic values on the global stage, comparing it to past conflicts where America stood firm against authoritarianism, such as World War II and the Cold War. He argued that the fight in Ukraine represents more than just a regional issue. It is a pivotal moment in the global struggle between democracy and authoritarianism, with the U.S. playing a vital role in supporting sovereignty and human rights. Nance emphasized the strategic importance of U.S. leadership, highlighting how it reinforces alliances like NATO and deters further aggression from nations like Russia. Acknowledging concerns about war fatigue and the financial costs, he countered by invoking America's historical endurance in prolonged struggles tied to moral imperatives. For Nance, the conflict is not just about military aid, but about demonstrating unwavering resolve to allies and sending a strong message to adversaries that democratic nations will stand united against oppression.
All right. For the panel, does the fact that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is this is written badly, that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a Nepo baby detract from her political accomplishments? I guess they were hearing me talk about the Huckabee dynasty. But yes, that's a big saying these days, Nepo baby. You know what that is? It's like they mostly refer to people in show business as Nepo. Anybody whose mother or father was a star and then you're a star, that makes you a Nepo baby. I could name many of them. They're very upset about being called that. I've noticed this phenomenon forever, as many people have out here, and it's fine if your parents were in show business. Just don't say, as I've heard some of them say, well, it wasn't any easier for me. Yes, it was. It was easier for you. Or the other thing they say a lot is, well, it just got me in the door. Well, that's a lot of it in show business.
Yeah.
The panel explored the rise of Sarah Huckabee Sanders through the lens of political legacies and the growing discourse around Nepo babies, individuals who leverage family connections to achieve prominence. While they acknowledged that Sanders' name recognition as the daughter of former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, undoubtedly gave her an advantage, they emphasized that her election as governor was earned through the democratic process. Bill Maher highlighted how political dynasties, from the Bushes to the Roosevelts, have long shaped American politics, underscoring the duality of legacy as both a benefit and a burden. Despite criticism surrounding her inherited platform, the panel agreed that her victory was legitimate, distinguishing her success from the unearned privileges often associated with nepotism in other fields.
Not on HBO, no.
When you're in politics, one of the things that you want generally is higher name ID. When a pollster like me goes out and we do a survey, we want to know how many people know what your name is at all. And if you have a dad or increasingly a mom that has been in politics before, it does make it easier for voters to just go, I liked her dad.
George Bush,
so, you know,
the second, that guy, when he ran, he went to the top of the polls. And I remember this story, I think in 1999. The people thought it was his father. That's what they were responding to. He had the same name, and they thought, oh, George Bush is running again. Right, he was a one-termer. He could do it.
And Franklin Roosevelt's cousin Teddy was president before him.
Sure.
John Quincy Adams' dad was president before. I mean, there is a tradition of that in America, but you still have to. I don't support Governor Sanders. I don't know her. I probably wouldn't even like her. But she earned that job, fair and square. She won the election. By the way, we didn't cheat. Nobody cheated. It wasn't rigged. She won the election fair and square, and she's entitled, I think, to the respect that a governor of a state should have.
I noticed that
right?
she made a big point of age. She said, Biden is 80 and I'm 40. By the way, I thought she was 60, but okay. I was shocked. No, I'm not 60, but I was shocked that she was only 40. I mean, Washington has a way of taking a toll on you. Let's just leave it at that. But, I mean, that was kind of a strange thing to brag about, I thought.
I don't think it's a strange thing to brag about, especially if your core argument going into 2024 is that Joe Biden is past his prime and we need to do something new. Now, this it depends upon, does the Republican Party not nominate someone who is also approaching 80? Wow. And so that's why some people
Don't say depends when you're talking about 80.
Something that I thought was very interesting about her response is she talked a lot about a new generation of Republican leadership. And when she talked about her time working for the former president, she did not use the word Trump once.
Yes, and I understand he was pissed. Yeah.
As an audience member, I see the conversation about Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Nepo babies in politics as a nuanced one. Name recognition undeniably provides a significant advantage, especially in an arena where visibility is crucial. That said, I believe Sanders' electoral victory deserves recognition for being achieved through a legitimate democratic process. Voters had the final say, and her ability to resonate with them, whether due to her policies, personality, or family ties, is part of the political game. However, the broader issue of legacy in politics raises important questions about fairness and opportunity. Does the prominence of political families make it harder for outsiders with fresh ideas to break through? While political dynasties aren't inherently bad, they can sometimes perpetuate a sense of exclusivity in leadership. To me, what ultimately matters is whether these individuals use their platform responsibly and prioritize public service over personal gain. Sanders' future actions as governor will likely determine how her rise is judged in the long term. Thanks for tuning in and being part of the conversation. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep the discussions going, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more thought-provoking content. Your support means everything to us. See you next time.